What's going on, guys? Chris Avery here. Subconscious control. Let's grow better together. Desire to inspire. I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I love: experimentation. And so, I was going to the grocery store the other day, and I walked in, and I started going to the produce section. And I think most of us have been in the produce section, right? So I was walking in there, and you know, as you're looking through, and you're starting to look through different fruit, different vegetables, most of us tend to go for the things we like, right? Most of us tend to pick the things we're used to. And I believe God puts us here for a reason. God puts us here to grow, to expand who we are, right? Some things are tests. And I think, and I know that the way you can become better in life is by challenging your thinking, by reading different books, by challenging what you believe, by getting around good people, by trying a different diet, trying different sleep patterns. So that's one thing I love to do. Somebody brought up to me a few weeks ago and said, you know, they were talking to somebody else about me, and they said that one thing they thought that is different than for most people is that I try to experiment a lot. So, which I really appreciate. That meant a lot to me. To be honest, I didn't think much about it. And so I've tried different diets. So for instance, I used to eat a lot of protein. I've tried like high fats, right? Middle protein, no carbs, a lot of protein, less fats. And I had for years a lot of aches and pains in my hips. And most of us go like, man, just getting older, you know? Body's just falling apart. Bad genes. And as much as I read and learn and expand my mind, I don't believe any of that's true. I believe that we need to be more aware of our mindset and what our body's telling us, our feelings and what that's telling us. Because it's simply saying to us, hey, wake up, change. It's similar to like a lobster, right? A lobster starts out small, grows, expands, has to shed its shell. Then it grows a new shell, and it continues this process. And us as human beings are no different. We get feedback from our mind and our body, and if we're aware and we're listening to it, we go, all right, so I had those aches and pains in my hips. And then it made me think, let me change my diet. So I went vegan for about a month, and I decided that wasn't for me. But then I took maybe a step back, if you will, from that edge of the extreme, and I went vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for about a month, 6 weeks, and I have no more aches and pains. And I used to stretch like crazy, and I thought, oh, I'll just stretch more. That's what it's got to be, stretching, right? Working out, so I get aches and pains. And now I have no aches and pains. I feel much better. Like there was a point before I went vegan that I was drinking like a gallon of milk a day, and it was all about experimenting, about eating a lot of protein and consuming a lot of calories to gain weight. And I gained a lot of weight, like quickly. So that worked. But I got feedback from my body and my mind that said that's not the best for me. So there's another thing that I love to experiment on. And so maybe you guys have tried something different in life, and you try this and that, and you realize that some things work better for you, and that's what it's about. So I tried this. So there's something called a REM cycle. And it's simply something we go through every 90 minutes, right? Every hour and a half. We go like in a deep sleep. We come back up. Our eyes become very active while we're sleeping. And then like that's the peak for when it's easiest for to come out of sleep and wake up. And so I started reading about this and do proper research, right? Read about it, because there's points where I was sleeping like an hour and a half a night. And I would sleep 3 hours a night. And I would sleep 4.5 hours, right? So they were in 90-minute cycles. And I believe 4.5 works best for me. An hour and a half is fine too. But you take naps throughout the day. So you take a 20-minute nap or 20-minute meditation, which I like the best. Meditation clears your mind, revives your life, gives you new energy and inspiration. Read about people that meditate. Like some of the yogis, they do amazing stuff. They sleep a couple hours a night, probably an hour and a half, 3 hours. Anyways, so try a sleep cycle, try different cycles. So if you guys even if you're going to sleep not an hour and a half or 3 hours or 4.5 hours, maybe that's not for you. Maybe you love your sleep. Maybe you've woken up feeling tired. Maybe you wake up feeling tired most of the time. Maybe that's some of your diet, some of your mind. But really pay attention to, oh man, I can get 8 hours of sleep. Shoot for 7.5. Get an extra, right? Most people say, oh, I want 24. I wish I had more than 24 hours in a day. Me too. This is one way to get it. Sleep less, get more. Get more out of your sleep, right? Because it's not always about getting more out of something. No, sorry, it is always about getting more out of something. It's not always about, right? So it's about quality, not quantity. So if you can sleep, like I said, 8 hours, sleep 7.5. If you can sleep 7 hours, sleep 6, because it's the hour-and-a-half cycle. And you'll realize that after you start doing this and after watching this video and implementing things like this in your life, you'll start to grow. You'll start to expand who you are. You'll start to become better. You'll start to be around people and people will be amazed by you and go like, wow, that's really cool. What are you trying? What are you doing different? What's different about you? Because a week ago you weren't doing this and now you're inspiring me to do something different. Anyways, guys, love you. Keep watching these videos. Comment below. I will start tagging videos or books or anything that I suggest. I'll put links in the videos below. That way you guys can check out some of the videos. I will try to find the Lobster video, because the Lobster video is like a little guy talks for like 30 seconds and tells you a story. It's incredible. Anyways, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.